How you doing, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Know y'all hadn't heard from me in a while, but I'm back, and I'm back with some updated information concerning the latest in my case that's been going on for over 3 years now. Um, First, I just like to say this. Well, I'm gonna say this one. First thing I'm gonna say is I'd like for y'all to let me know. Give me a comment on this. Let me know what y'all think I ought to do. Okay, let me tell you what's going on. First of all, another judge has excused a second lawyer of mine that I done paid a lot of money to that has didn't do what I hired them to do. Like in this latest incident, I hired a rec law firm out of Charlotte, North Carolina, to take care of this case with the contempts against my ex-wife, and I had around about 10 contempts. So they didn't do diligently have the judge's signature on the paperwork that needed to be signed for me to go forward with the contempt, in which I that's what I hired them for, but they didn't do that. So then at the end, they only took my money and then went before a judge to have them to be released from being my lawyer. Ain't that somehow a lawyer could just go up after taking your money, go up into a judge and tell the judge da 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 this and da 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 that, and then the judge excuse them from being your lawyer? Ain't that somehow a lawyer can do that? I had a friend of mine tell me, say, the lawyer, they legally lie, cheat, and steal. And I believe, I see that now. I've been believing that's a true statement about a lawyer, lie, cheat, and steal legally. So they lied, cheat, and steal. They took my money, a lot of money from me now, the rec law firm, and didn't do what I paid them to do. So, but law gonna deal with them too. So rec law firms, business is no more. You know, anybody that raised their hands against a child of the Lord, but I'm telling you something falsely, but you can best believe it's coming back. So I hired y'all to do a job that y'all did not do. And I specifically hired y'all to do the job for the contempts against my ex-wife that y'all failed to do and failed to get a judge's signature on the paperwork that needed to be signed to go forth with that. And see, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. Now, I know a lot of y'all been following me, and y'all know that I myself, that I took this case all the way up that ladder myself. And because I started having difficulties with getting the paper signed by judge and clerks of courts workers was underminingly doing grimy junk to me at that courthouse, and then the judges wasn't signing the contempt that I was bringing forth against my ex-wife. See, the judge dismissed all of the contempt, not because she wasn't guilty, but because the paper didn't have a signature on it from a judge. So therefore, they couldn't go forward. The judge had to dismiss it because they didn't have a judge's signature to go forward with the contempts against my ex-wife. So let me just tell y'all the latest, honey. I can see why a lot of dads, I'm going to speak for some daddies, that's about their family, about their children, taking care of their family. I can see why some daddies don't want to have nothing to do with their children because of the wicked mothers. And I can kind of understand to some point that I can see why y'all feel that way, because I feel that way right now. And I'm going to tell you something, and those of you that know me know I love my children, and I done got 7 grown children. So, but with this latest woman I had 3 kids by, besides, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Besides the 3 children I got by her, I hate the day I ever met that woman. I hate the day that I ever met that woman because she's an evil woman. She been evil from the very start of me getting with her. And now I ain't blaming it all on her. I'm blaming it on myself because unlike if a lot of men you like me, you work for your family, you go out there and you get a job, and most of your time is spent away from home. So, and I was a truck driver, most of my time was spent away from home, 14, 16 hours a day. So when you factor that in, and then you giving that woman a lot of leverage to do a lot of evil stuff to you, and a woman that's got bad intentions, they would do bad stuff to that man at any time that they can do it. Now, y'all tell me how many what judge in a right mind would give my children to a mentally ill, disabled woman, that gets a disability check, that can't provide for herself and 3 children. Well, now 5 that is, but the 3 of them is mine. And off a disability check when they was well been taken care of, in the home that they was in, that they grew and raised in, and with their other two older siblings that's been there from day one. See, the judge took that away. Took not only the judge hurt me, Sophia Crawford. That is, if y'all forgot what judge did this to me, Sophia Crawford. Um, Took my kid from me after knowing these videos had served, after knowing that this woman was under probation for assaulting me already, and then after video from the DSS surface about the woman assaulting me right on camera. And you know what they say, a camera speak 1,000 words, or I guess it didn't speak 1,000 words for me, because when you got an evil judge that don't make no difference what they hear or see, and they sit there and take the family and split a family up, a loving family. That's what the judge did. So she didn't only take my children from me, she split my children up from their older siblings. So that judge, that's why I said that judge should never ever live that down in this lifetime. And what she did to my children, well, I ain't saying she won't be forgiven for the bad stuff that she done, but it's gonna wear on her heart because she did some evil stuff to me that I didn't deserve. But I ain't gonna go a whole lot about that right now, because this ain't why I got on YouTube to talk about it. What I got on YouTube to talk about, the Lord says when you get married, a man take the rule over his wife and children. Now, evil judge came in, and an evil woman has gathered up and took that away from me, and I'm the rule over my family, and that's what the Lord said. So I'm gonna ask each and every one of you that's about the Lord, that's the Lord's children, that's saved and under the blood of Christ. Please comment on this and tell me where you think I ought to go forward with this. Because number one, my ex-wife is in violation, and she's even in violation right to this day. We got joint custody of our children. Joint custody, physical custody, and she ain't abided by the order before. The judge gave a new order, and she ain't abiding by it now. To this day, y'all, I'm talking about to this day right now. She had, and the date is 2 days before Thanksgiving 2020. So the day is Tuesday. Yeah, the day is Tuesday. November 25th, I think it is. Yeah, November 25th, 2020. But anyway, so, anything that's done against the Lord, it's repercussions to it, because the Lord said, man, take the rule over his wife and children. So it ain't for the woman to take the rule away from the man and to stack up with another wicked woman and take the rule away from a man, because that's what this ain't nothing but some devilish stuff that's going on here. And it's been hard. So my question to y'all is this: should I leave it alone? Because my thing is this, just like Solomon when he was wise in what he did. Y'all remember Solomon when the two women had the children, the one child born dead for the other woman, and then the woman had a child, and through the night the other woman went and took the woman child that was living and said it was her child. Y'all remember? For those of you that remember that passage in the Bible. So then Solomon said, well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut the baby in half. We're gonna give you half, and we're gonna give you half. And then what happened, y'all? The real mother stepped up and said, no, let her have the child. Ain't that what the real mother said? Because that mother didn't want to suffer her child to be hurt. The same way in this situation with my ex-wife. She don't love our kids, but she rather suffer our kids through the hardship to hurt the system than for our kids to grow in a loving environment, a loving home. Now this is a mother that loves their children. A mother not gonna let their children, a real mother not gonna let their children suffer with the elements of the world that they can avoid from suffering. So now, they're like, so I'm trying to be wise at this. What should I do? Pretty much got every judge here in Richmond County against me. You got members of the sheriff department, definitely members of that courthouse, at that clerk's office. All of them pull their hands against me for them to do, let me tell y'all, some wicked people wicked people get together and they stack up against you, and they stack up against good people, and they hurt good people. They're like the Bible said, wicked people will rise up against you one way, but the Lord said they'll flee from you 7 different ways. So you know what? And I know what's coming down, and I know ain't nobody going to escape what they done to me in the Lord's hands, because it's in the Lord's hand. Because you know what? I done spent out a lot of money to get nowhere, because it ain't meant for me to get nowhere until the Lord says it's time for me to get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, I done spent out, I done lost 2 lawyers and a lot of money. 2 lawyers and a lot of money. You know, the wickedness of my ex-wife, the infidelity of my ex-wife, having the 2 kids while she's married to another man, you know, and she gets it all. She gets to leave me for 2 years, y'all. Listen, gets to leave me for almost 2 years and then come back and cause hell for me and our kids and our children. That's what she did. Now she walking around with my children looking like they throwed away children. For those of y'all that know me, y'all know every one of my kids, my OE, my grown kids. I made sure they have name clothing, name clothes, shoes, Jordans. And those of you that know me know this ain't something I just became. This is something I always been. So now I get to see my children. Last time I saw my children, I went and bought them shoes, Jordans and stuff, because I don't want to see them walking around with some old Walmart brand shoes on their feet. You know, like they don't belong to me. They belong to me, but the system and the wicked judge took them away from me. You know what I'm saying? And all of the help that they had their constituents, all of the evilness and the help they had to do such a thing to me. So this thing has happened, and so I'm saying, I just need to just turn my whole back all together, because you know what? I don't want to put my kids through nothing else. I don't want to hurt them or nothing. You know, so by going to get another lawyer, taking this woman back to court, because I will do that. Let me tell you something, because I got all the evidence against her, and I will do that. But you know I'm gonna tell you what's holding me. What's holding me from doing that is my children, they self. Do I go and take my children from this wicked woman, you know, because of the wicked stuff she done, or do I let them keep them and wait till they get grown or whatever and come to their daddy? So I ask y'all to comment on that as to what should I do from this point on, since so much evilness has bestowed me from these evil people. You know what I'm saying? And the balance of this is our children. And I already know what the Lord say. It's better for you to be hanged about your neck and cast in the sea than to hurt one of his little ones. So what should I do? You know, should I proceed and go back and get my kids from this woman? Or should I just leave it alone and let the Lord go ahead and take the course the way it's going? And because I know when the Lord end this thing, it's ended, and ain't nobody gonna undo it, ain't nobody gonna redo it. But when the Lord says it's ended, it's ended. You know, I just want to make the right decision as a dad, because I still got a life to live. I still have, of course, I'm remarried to my new wife, and of course I got, 2 children that I care for, So regardless through all of this, I have an 8 and 9-year-old that the judge Sophia Crawford broke up as well. So I got to care for them. I got to continue to raise them, and they 2 boys. I got to continue to raise them the best way I can, without them being around their sister and their other 2 brothers. And it's hurtful to them because they speaks about it. So it's really hurtful to them to what this evil woman has done to them. Not just to me. I'm not just saying that she done it to me, because I can get over what she done to me. Already over what she done to me. Because that's just when it's people intention to hurt you, that's what they set out to do, and that's what they do. Just like she did to me. She intentionally sought out to hurt me, and that's what she did. And then, but you would think a mother would be like, okay, I intentionally hurt him, but I'm not going to intentionally hurt my children. That's the whole thing with me. I can deal with the fact that you hurt me and get by it. But see, hurting our children is a whole nother story. Because that's something that's embedded. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want my kid to grow up being wicked and have the wicked ways after their mother. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. And the mother shouldn't want that neither. But so she want to have the rule, as a mentally ill person and a disabled person over my children, and then the judge agreed with and gave them my children. How in the world, y'all understand what I'm coming from? How is that possible for a loving father, stable, and been in his home for over 20 years, and all his kids born in his home? How is it that a woman like that come out of nowhere? I know how. I'm gonna tell you how. Because when you are evil, and evil stacks with evil. That's how. Evil comes together with other evil forces and to hurt good people. That's what evil people do. They stack up against good people to hurt good people. So my thing is, it's time, I let it go and go about my life and my two boy life and raising the best I can from this point on. But I just like to get some input from y'all. Would that be the right thing for me to do? Because the system here in Richmond County, North Carolina, is against me. Everybody, more from DSS, they pull their hands against me. Members of the members of the DSS, Child Support Agency, all over that DSS building, workers of that place, and pull their hands against me. Sheriff Department, members of the Sheriff Department, and pull their hands against me. You know what I'm saying? And the members, and the most importantly, the members of the doggone courthouse. That's in charge of doing paperwork and doing certain stuff up there, pull their hands against me. And then you get a lawyer, a conflict lawyer, that's her lawyer, that was my daughter's lawyers first, then end up being my ex-wife lawyer against a wall. So he represented the wall, then went against the wall with another wall. Of course, she's not a real wall, but she got my name and kept my last name, but but the attorney she got went against another wall after representing the wall. Ain't that something, y'all? But it happened to me. But the thing is this: is I love my children, and I put it in the Lord's hands. I put it in the Lord's hand because y'all, if y'all been following me all this time, y'all know I did a lot of stuff. I did a lot of stuff to benefit my family and to keep my family from being broken up. And the very thing that I fought for happened. I went all the way out to Charlotte, hired 2 different lawyers at 2 different times. I did that, and only to get took for my money. Only to get took for my money. That's what these lawyers did to me. The Rec Law Firm out of Charlotte, North Carolina, is the latest lawyer that has taken my money and then give me the representative services that I deserve for what I paid for. You don't got to give me anything. I paid for and hired the lawyer for what I wanted. And I paid for one, and being the most important was the contempt against my ex-wife. I hired that lawyer specifically for that because I told the lawyer, look, I can't get nowhere. I can't get a judge's signature on this paperwork. I need for y'all to get this done. But they prepared themselves for a case that they didn't think I was going to recognize. I done brought this case all the way this far. The only thing I need for y'all to do is get the judge's signature, get in court with the contempt against my ex-wife. Even her probation officer didn't violate it at the stuff that she done to me. So y'all see how the wicked people stack up on you? The probation officer, that was her probation officer. He didn't do his job. When he could have violated her, did what he's supposed to do as his job, because that's his job now. When she assaulted me on camera, when I showed y'all that video where she assaulted me at DSS on camera, her probation officer didn't even do his job. He let her do. Everybody let that woman do what what she wanted to do to me, and then they covered because they evil just like her. So when you got evil people, because y'all remember something, the devil against himself ain't gonna be against itself, because the devil against himself ain't gonna stand. His kingdom ain't gonna stand. So when you got willing participants, other demons that go, that he leads, that they stack up against good people. And I know some of y'all out there, I'm not the only one. Let me tell you something. Wicked people stack up with wicked people to hurt good people. That's what they do. Now, I've been sitting here going over a case that's involving my ex-wife for over 2 years now. Assault case on her, and got a misdemeanor larceny and what was that? An interfering 911 call they got on me. And I've been ready for trial since the day, and it ain't happened yet. And it's over 2 years. Can y'all get that? Over 2 years now. I ain't got this woman in court for her assault charge against me. Well, she been found guilty in district court already for assault me, and the judge gave her 2-year probation. But her lawyer appealed her case to Superior Court. So now we in Superior Court. And it's been over 2 years, y'all, now. For misdemeanor now, it's been over 2 years going to court. That they hadn't called this case to trial. So, and yes, I'm still open and still waiting on this situation concerning our district attorney. And I'm going to go there and enlighten y'all a little bit on that. This district attorney, Reese Saunders, he was my lawyer. He was my family lawyer before let's see, I don't know if a lot of y'all know, but y'all my age, maybe a little older, y'all know that Reese Saunders was not only a lawyer, he was a judge first, then he became a lawyer, then now he became a district attorney. But through his growth, he was involved with me. Ain't that something? He was involved with me, and he conflicted himself one time against me. He represented Advanced Auto against me, his client that he had as a client. I was newly his client, and he represented Advanced Auto against me, and won the case. That would clearly put him at a conflict of interest. He shouldn't even been in that situation to be in a conflict with me and Advanced Auto, because you couldn't represent Advanced Auto. I was your client first, so you couldn't represent them good, knowing that I was your client. How in the world can you do that? I'm just letting y'all know that's the stuff that I got. So now Reese Saunders is a district attorney here in Richmond County. So I'm wondering why the case, the district attorney, and so he's very familiar with my name. He's very familiar with William, and because he was my attorney at one point in his career. So and he has went against his client with Advanced Auto. I remember we went to court. That man, he even brought up my back record in court. My own attorney now. Yup. He did that to me. So what we do to me now? Now he's a district attorney, got a whole lot of leeway, don't he? He gonna tell you this trial between me and my ex-wife could have been on trial already. Could have been on trial. But is it on trial? Nope. And this could have been dealt with. And in the process, she was under probation and had a new assault charge on her, and she still took my children from me. The judge still took my children from me. And look, and not more than that, not only did she take my children from me, she stripped me of my right back in March of 2019. Judge Sophia Crawford took my right, stripped me of my right because she didn't like what I said to her. And she tried to make it like I was saying something I ain't supposed to say. No, I ain't saying nothing I ain't supposed to say. And I tell y'all as the public, I told y'all before what I said to her in that courtroom. You know what I'm saying? I told her the blood of my children is on her hands. Because you made a wicked decision. You made a decision based on your likes and dislikes of me. You didn't make your decision based on the love and what's best for my children. She didn't make a decision based on that. She made a decision based on maybe her lifestyle and what she done probably been through, and her lifestyle to agree with a woman, don't care how wicked they is. Because ain't no judge in their right mind, ain't no judge before her came to no conclusion to take my children from me. And I done been in front of some good judges, Judge Stone. Even Judge Scott Brewer himself at the time was the chief judge. Done been in front of him. So you mean to tell me this judge here come along just not made judge that been long ago and gonna take my children from me? And for what? What reason? For what? That's the thing that got me. What reason did you take my kid from me and give the authority to this woman? What reason was for that? Ain't no other judge saw reason to do that. So what reason did this judge, Sophia Crawford, have to take what was I an unfit parent? Was I the one? Tell me something, y'all. If I was the one that assaulted that woman that been on camera, what they'd have done to me? I ain't even got to say nothing to her. I tell you what they would have done. They'd have made sure I wouldn't see my kids again. That's one thing. They would have locked me up, put me in jail, and they would have heard them took me to trial because they had me on video. So they said, "We got you, buddy. We sending you to prison." That's what they would. That's what they would have done to me. But since she was on the other foot, forget what that woman done to me. Forget her assault me twice, not one. Actually, she assaulted me 3 times. One time they wouldn't give me a warrant. And I had to fight just to get that one on her the second time when she assaulted me. And then I had to fight to get the third one on her. But see, the first time I tried to take out one out on her, they wouldn't let me do it. When now when Holly Smith, and Holly Smith was a magistrate at the time, helped that woman take, fraudulent charges out on me. She did. And then gonna put me in jail under no bond for something that this woman did to me now. So you see how evil people stack up with one another? See, evil stack up with evil to hurt good people. Always remember that. Evil people stack up to hurt good people. And that's what happened. the evil people stacked up to hurt me. And that's what they did. But see, what they didn't realize, it's somebody in the mix of all that that's got their eyes on everybody, and that's God. And God gonna reward those one of, accordingly. I ain't gonna say he won't forgive none of them if they ask for forgiveness. But what they did, they hurt. Not only they hurt me, they hurt my little ones. They hurt my little children. They hurt my family, the wicked ones. And Sophia Crawford is not the only one. I know she the mouthpiece to hurt me and not my children, but she's not the only one. She got a whole lot more people behind her and what she done to me. And that includes DSS, members of the Sheriff Department, clerk of courts. That includes all of them. Wicked lawyers that I have hired. Yup. Wicked lawyers that I hired myself hurt me. Yup. And for what? I hired you, when you go hire, when you go get a mechanic, you hire a mechanic to tune your car up, forget, you didn't ask the mechanic to do what you do best. You hired a mechanic that, look, I want plugs and wires in my car. And that's what I'm gonna pay you for. That's how pacific I was with this attorney rec law firm. I said, I'm gonna hire you to finish my case, because I'm about finished everything already. I'm gonna hire you to finish my case. I'm gonna hire you for the about 10 contempts I got against my ex-wife that I can't get a judge's signature on. So, and that's the only reason why I hired. If I could have got a judge's signature, I would have never went and hired rec law firm. Because I would have got the signature, got it in court, because I know how to file the papers, and I know how to send her attorney the papers. I know how to do all that. But if I don't got a judge's signature, I can't do it, because I can't get a court date or nothing until I get that judge's signature that this woman is in contempt. And for the judge to sign the paper, what I could send to them through mail or through the sheriff's office, for them to receive the court date to bring his client forward for contempt and to explain why or what reason or why the court should hold you in contempt. For those who know how contempts work, those contempt papers has to have a judge's signature and court date that allows you to be able to send the other plaintiff or defendant, whoever it may be, the papers to come. You serve them the paper to come to court. I didn't get that. So since I didn't get that, I know I needed help getting that. That's why I went and hired a lawyer, rec law firm. And and more thing, I asked the head lawyer, Kate, I think her name is Katie Rec. I asked her to be involved. I want her to only be the only one involved. She was involved one time and came to court one time, and that was for a hearing. That was for a mediation. Every time after that, I have had conversation with her on the phone, but I never had conversation. She never came back to court again. So that hurt me, because my lawyer then my ex-lawyers now, because they're not my lawyers now, but they were my ex-lawyers, that did the wrong to me, and that was just wrong, straight up wrong. Took all my money and then do nothing for me. They do nothing for me. Didn't do what I paid them to do. Other words, didn't do nothing, because I ain't want them to do nothing for me. I paid them to do for me what I paid them to do. I paid them to handle those contempts against my ex-wife and to finish my case with equitable distribution and alimony. Why ex-wife gonna get alimony from me? She left me and our children, but she want alimony. She want child support, but she left me and our children. You understand what I'm saying? And I had to quit my job, truck driving job, to stay and take care of my children, because I had my two that by a previous relationship, and then our three. And at that time, our baby one was 3 months old when she left. And look, and to give y'all some update, he was about 2 years old when the judge took him from me. All three of them. And my baby boy didn't even know her. My 3-month-old did not even know her, know his own mama, because she left him while he was 3 months old, going on 4 months. Yep, sure did. And then 2 years later, almost 2 years later, in March of 2019, the judge gonna script me on my rights and my children from me. She did that evil woman a favor, because the judge was evil herself. That's evil with evil. And think I had a chance. I don't care what kind of money I spent. I don't care what. It didn't mean one thing, because when they stacked up against you in this system here in Richmond County, or maybe I'm gonna speak here of the people in Richmond County. They wicked people that stack up against you, and I know how they do it. I know the names of every one of them, And some of the names I probably don't know because you got undercover people around here that were sticking it to you. You hear me? And I know a lot of y'all know that if you've been around long as I've been around in this place. So I ask y'all to just give me, y'all input what I should go from here. And I'd like to hear it, and I thank y'all.